Thank you, Kirk. I was just thinking, in lieu of the message this morning, maybe I should just focus in on a couple of responses that we're engaged in. Before I do that, there's a brand new book that just was released a couple months ago, and it's already in the top 40 on Amazon. And the introduction to it is actually a commendation from a former presidential candidate that was read on the floor of Congress, commending agencies that involve church folk caring for the poor and how it's better than government. And it would make great holiday reading. It's $10. It's out there, and it helps to support our interns that come to Convoy of Hope. So I thought I'd mention that. Thank you. I believe this is your fifth year of practicing One Day to Feed the World. And I was thinking as I was listening to Pastor Kurt, a little over 3 years ago, we went together to Haiti. And just prior to the earthquake event that took place in Haiti, the warehouse had been stocked completely full. And Convoy was given 5 of the 6 points of distribution throughout Port-au-Prince because God had previously arranged for our warehouses to be filled in lieu of that event. And at that time, we were feeding 11,000 children every school day. Following the earthquake, it grew to 20,000. Last year, we were celebrating over 60,000 children being fed every single school day. A 300,000 square foot warehouse was erected free of debt. Nothing from One Day to Feed the World goes to build a building. It was given by a glass company who saw what we're doing. We now have capacity for 10 million meals. Should there be another devastating event in the Caribbean, we'll be able to share from that. 80,000 kids now are being fed every single school day in Port-au-Prince. And, I mean, it's remarkable in the time that's only 3.5 years. But what's exciting to me is we are also subsidizing now over 3,000 farmers and teaching them best soil practices and so forth so that they're growing the rice. And 30% of all the food that we buy back from them is what's going to feed the children. So it's sustainable. In very near future, we believe that everything that we feed the children with will be sustainable from within Haiti. And that's a God story. But I'm reflecting on that story because he saw in advance the need for that warehouse to be full. And we're doing a similar program, as it turns out, one of my favorite Bible phrases, as it turns out, in the Philippines. So as the weather models were honing in on where the path of this super typhoon was going to hit, we had the warehouse previously filled again. And we had 600,000 emergency resource meals in reserve. So we pre-positioned them in about 3 different islands, 6 points of distribution. Prior to landfall, all those meals were in place to begin feeding before the infrastructure was destroyed. So all around that story is the body of Jesus in Filipino frame and color and culture. And she's responding to the immediate needs, and 3 million more meals are landing as we speak to continue with the ongoing need there. But it's replayed over and over and over because these disasters are relative, right? But our own Wade Yamaguchi is actually documenting for Convoy of Hope what's happening today in the Philippines through relationship with you. So thank you. We have a picture even here in Colorado from the flooding, just to let you know. Right after the floods occurred in Colorado, I live in a neighborhood that was affected. And I can just tell stories of what took place in my own experience. But I want you to know that Right after that, the Naval Yard shootings occurred and the media disappeared. I just want you to know that Convoy in Colorado is negotiating with local disaster management for us to continue to serve those who have the least amount of resources and had the highest amount of impact so that we can help them rebuild. And that's what we're still doing in Sandy. That's what we're still doing in Moore. That's what we're still doing in Joplin. That's what we're doing in Japan, as we're continuing to do outreaches in the areas of chronic poverty throughout the U.S. And we could not do that. We could not do that without Canyon View participating with us in One Day to Feed the World. So thank you so much, guys. We're really proud of you.